Oh, yeah, that's right. Kendra G crashes out again. This time over a meme. A meme, fellas. But she also got a video of Corey Holcomb, in which I'm not going to go into that. I want to see how this big picture gets made between those two. So that's going to be for another time. But back to this video, Kendra G, in which I am doing my introduction, but y'all see the title of the video. And yes, it's true. Kendra G crashes out over a stupid meme. In which I got to ask, who in the world takes memes seriously? Oh, wait, Kendra G, don't answer that question. Nobody takes memes seriously, well, except for Kendra G. And before I go any further, because I know how Kendra G is when it comes to her content. when it comes to her content. So allow me to do this right here. This video is protected under Title 107, the Fair Use Act, for critiquing and educational purposes only. This is not an attack towards Kendra G, but me telling Kendra G about herself. That being said, let's get started, shall we?
Child, listen, I have decided to do this video because I really did not realize how many unintelligent people are on the internet. This is a meme that someone...
Well, Kendra G, if people on the internet is so unintelligent, then what does that make you? Who is also on the internet, Kendra G? Okay then.
That someone created, and it's a snapshot from my Tamron Hall interview. And I am finally going to break down my Tamron Hall interview because so many people are reporting on it, but they're reporting on it leaving out very important factual information. Instead, they're trying to create a narrative about me that simply just isn't true. Okay, hey, Tamron girl. Now,
and yet, look who's giving them look at you, Kendra G, giving them the energy they're begging for. And again, I will ask this question. Who in God's green earth takes memes seriously except for you, Kendra G? No one. I mean, let's count the ways here. Who's the host of that Pop the Balloon Define Love show? Arnett, Malo, Arnett, I can't pronounce her last name, but I know it's Arnett. Do you know that she has memes about her and her show? She got people making parodies of her show. Even SNL did a skit about her show. So why is she not triggered over that shit, Kendra G? Instead, Arnett took it in stride. Not to mention, Arnett's show is popping off way bigger than yours. But let me go an extra mile further. As I also recall, Kevin Samuels also had buku memes made about him that wasn't true. Did Kevin Samuels get triggered by those memes, Kendra G? No. Instead, just like Arnett, Kevin Samuels also took it in stride and kept moving forward. So by the end of the day, Arnett from Pop the Balloon Define Love, as well as Kevin Samuels, got memes about them They took it in stride and kept moving forward because they know they ain't true. But not you, Kendra G. As soon as someone makes a meme, here you are on damage control. And you supposed to be this popular public figure? Why couldn't you just let it? Why couldn't you just let it be? Just move forward, taking it stride like everyone else. Are you that insecure? Are you that insecure that you will get triggered over a stupid meme that nobody takes seriously? Nobody takes memes seriously, Kendra G, and I'm just throwing that out there. But let's continue.
Girl, now, first of all, I was requested by Tamron Hall herself to do this show and this episode because Tamron Hall is a Chicago media girl. I am also a Chicago media girl. I have known her for years. Let's start there. Secondly, the topic of the show was to break down popular 2025 dating trends. Myself and another young lady were there to break down different meanings behind different dating trends.
God damn, I know how to pause. Now the other woman Kendra G is talking about, and what she also got videos on social media as well. That woman is on the show because she had an issue of all the men that she was dating ghosting her. I just want to throw that out there, but let's continue.
Trends and styles. In advance, Tamron Hall's producer sent me a list of different topics we would discuss. It was requested that I would be prepared to break down any trend that Tamron throws at us. Actually, Tamron even tells you this on the show, you goofies. If you was watching it, take a look.
Kendra G, I know you ain't trying to call nobody goofy when you are in your feelings over a stupid meme like a goofy. So basically, you're goofy trying to call other people goofy. And that won't be the only thing I'm going to point out. But let's continue.
Take a listen.
Okay, so my team found 2025's most talked about dating trends and catchphrases. These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show. So don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I had never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define it.
Okay, for those who might still be confused, Tamron Hall just set the tone. She is going to throw different dating trends and styles at me and the other young lady, and we will break down the definition behind that style. The first one that Tamron Hall does is called future proofing, and she asked me directly, Kendra G, to break it down. Take a listen.
Yes, let's take a listen, shall we?
These ladies are going to break it down. I gave you some of them at the beginning of the show. So don't feel badly if you've never heard of them, because I had never heard of them either. And I didn't look them up because I want to know how you define them. Future proofing.
Yes.
Kendra.
Oh, you got to have a job. You have to have an ambition that's going to go somewhere for sure. I want to see W-2 forms. I want to see success records. I want to meet your mama. I want to know where you live. Is it in your name? Is it? I need to see the lease, because sometimes
Kendra, I'm not good enough to date you. Let me tell you, because we're talking about it from the female gaze to the male. I'm just talking in general. If I had gone on a date with someone and they started asking me about my W-2s and my bank account, they would have been seeing the gas come out of the pipes of my car.
Yes.
Because that's too, I'm intimidated now.
Well, because women...
and that's a certified fact from Tamron Hall. Not to mention, Tamron Hall is married while Kendra G is still single. I mean, you go to anyone asking for that shit, they'll think that you're trying to steal their identity, or you trying to commit identity fraud. And yes, what Tamron Hall said is true. You ask anyone, man or woman, for that type of information. Oh, they are long gone. Especially if you just met them and they don't know your ass from a can of paint. I'm just being brutally honest here. Let's continue.
Because women are tired of wasting their time. I'm talking from the woman's perspective.
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true. But the thing with guys...
And they don't want a broke lady.
Well, no, I don't know, though. Some men...
Guys,
Certainly don't. Certainly don't.
I heard you say
I don't think men want a broke lady, but they also don't want a lady that's going to be too expensive. You know, wigs is $2,000. Lashes is $300.
Okay,
you know, shoes is $1,000.
Are you easing into high maintenance?
Yes. Well, I think that, yeah, that's real high.
Oh, Kendra G. Why do we all get the feeling? Why do we all get the feeling that you are speaking from how much you pay for all that stuff? And yes, I've been with many women before, and all those women, there were a few that will wear wigs, that will wear lashes. I don't care as long as I get in mine. But on a serious tip, does Kendra G believes that these women out here is paying $2,000 for a wig, $300 for lashes? Last time I checked, every woman some of the women that I've been with, they only had to pay $200 to $300 for that stuff. And even they complained that it was so expensive. Lashes for $150 to $200. So where did Kendra G got the idea that these women are paying $2,000 for a fucking wig? Even I don't look at that shit as being an actual fact. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's continue.
Real high.
And you're owning, so 2025 people are owning the high maintenance?
Well, women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamarin, but they're like, why if you here? If a man is here, why am I?
But you're not here for my wigs.
But they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this. Now, I'm not saying
wait a minute. This is getting spicy.
Wow.
Don't back up now, Kendra. We got some groans, we got some applause, we got some moans. Alana's coming back with us. I didn't know the Valentine's Day was going to get this hot. We'll be right back.
Okay, so this is the part of the interview that got the internet in a chokehold, child. So a couple things. First of
That's what Kendra G said.
all, I was explaining what future proofing is for the woman that walks that way. Okay. I was not talking from the Kendra G perspective. Listen, brokies, I don't ask men to take care of my
Kendra G and her typical shaming and ad hominem attacks. But you see, I will go ahead and say this. Kendra G is making a fool out of her own damn self more than the ones that she called brokies. But ain't it funny? The same ones that she called brokies are the exact same ones that's making money off of her. Oh, did you thought we forgot, Kendra G? You made another video of you crashing out, calling those dudes ain't shit ninjas. Oh, let's not forget about that. Oh, now they're brokey, even though they making more money off your shit than you do in a lifetime. Oh my God. But let's continue further.
My wigs and my makeup and my lashes. I know most of y'all men can't afford it. Okay, let's just have the heart-to-heart conversation. So no, I am very proud to say that I am a woman that can take care of herself proudly and has always. And I am happy that I can do so. If you watch this interview, you know I'm not talking from the first person category. I say they.
Well, if that's the case, I already called your bullshit earlier because you think these women out here is paying over $2,000 for a freaking wig. Come on now. Let's continue.
There's a moment when Tamron even says, why can't you continue to pay for your own wigs? I literally say, I agree with you, Tamron. Women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamron, but they're like, why? But I'm with you, Tamron, because I feel like I got my own money.
Don't back up now, Kendra.
So are we clear, people? Kendra G was not talking about herself in this moment. I want to break down further.
Then why are you so triggered, Kendra G? Why are you letting this shit get to your head? And you can't tell us nothing different because you are on live, on camera, on damage control. And believe me, Kendra G, the internet will say anything and everything it wants. And no, there's nothing you can do about that. But here you are giving the internet that energy that they crave. This is what they want you to do. And like a goofy, you gave it to them, Kendra G. But let's continue.
The moment when Tamron Hall said, well, a man doesn't want a broke woman either. So they're like, I don't want to make you be already made. I don't got clay. I'm not magic.
But guys don't want that either. They don't want to make us.
Well, true, but the thing with guys...
And they don't want a broke lady.
Well, no, I don't know, though. Some men... See, I had to take a pause because that actually isn't all the way true. There are some men who truly desire a woman who does not make that much money because if she doesn't, they can control her. There are men who have literally said, I want to date women who are in poverty, stricken...
Objection to hearsay, Kendra G. We hearing it from you. Why don't we hear it from the men?
Situations because I can control her. She can't afford to leave me. She can't afford to talk back to me. These are things that men have said out of their own mouth. If you don't believe me, take a listen for yourself.
Yes, Kendra G. Let's take a listen to these men who made that claim. But why do I get the feeling that you only going to present just one man? I get the feeling that we only going to hear this from one man. No, not a group of men like you're claiming, but from one. Why do I get the feeling?
Curious to know this. You keep mentioning women in poverty. Why? Like, what's your?
Well, I'm older now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So, women in poverty.
Really, Kendra G? You listening to what Corey Holcomb is saying? The same Corey Holcomb that got you crashing out? The same Corey Holcomb who is a comedian? And yes, I agree with other content creators on this matter. Corey Holcomb is a comedian, Kendra G. Basically saying you don't know if he's being serious about what he's saying or is he cracking jokes. And it's also clear to see that Cam Newton has no involvement. He's wondering why Corey Holcomb is saying what he's saying as well. So that completely destroys your, these men said this. No, these men didn't say shit. Only one man said something. But let's continue.
Poverty, I can control them better. A girl who can't afford to say, fuck you, Corey, I'm gone. She just can't afford to do it. So I take advantage of that. Now, that might be wrong, but her poverty and my needs, most of the time, it even out. I don't really need a lot of their time. And they don't tell me to fuck off because they know when I come over, their children can get some
Hold up. God damn.
some outlet Jordans. Girls in poverty, because they have a deficiency. Poverty is a deficiency out here in America. I can fix your little deficiency if you do what I want you to do. I think it's an even exchange.
Ooh, the tea.
Kendra G, we can clearly see that is water in that glass, not tea. And second of all, I find it funny and comical AF that you think what you just showed was a gotcha moment. But wait a second, Kendra G. You said out your own mouth that you got some men out here saying what Corey Holcomb said. But ain't it funny? You only showed a clip of Corey Holcomb. Where are the other men at, Kendra G? And on top of that, you listening to what a comedian is saying. And as I stated before, one thing I know about comedians, when they do interviews such as this, you don't know if they, as I say before, you don't know if they are being serious or they cracking jokes. And it's clear to see you don't know, Kendra G, whether or not is he being serious or he's being comical. You just going off by what he said, and you're running off with it. Plus, you ain't showing no other man making these claims. I mean, where's the 50 Cents? Where's the Steven Jacksons? Where's the Deion Sanders? Where are the other men at making that claim besides Corey Holcomb? That's right, Kendra G. Only one man made that claim. And no one man can speak for all men as a whole. So by the end of the day, you thought you had a gotcha, but you only played yourself, Goofy. Let's continue.
Another part of the Tamron Hall interview I want to break down is when I mentioned I had a roster. Ooh, this one really got y'all upset. Take a look.
Again, according to Kendra G. No, Kendra G. You say that you having a roster got everybody upset. I beg to differ. But I'll tell you how people are really reacting here. Let's continue.
Kendra, thousands and thousands of people call you.
Yes.
They want to be on the show.
Yes.
They want your advice, but you're single.
That's right, girl, and loving it. Now, I was in a relationship last year, but
Now I need to stop this right here real quick. This is the reason why most people take the host of the Pop the Loon to Find Love seriously more than Kendra G. At least Annette is happily married with her husband while helping other women get to that point. Kendra G is single as a Pringle. But she thinks she's on top of the world. But I just want to throw that out. Let's continue. Oh, before I do continue, this is the reason why I constantly say why take dating and marriage advice from people who still struggle to get into relationships. And from all the things I've been seeing for Kendra G, is evident in the proof. But let's continue.
But this is my single season and I love it. And single does not mean lonely. Single means nobody can't claim me.
Right.
And I got a roster. If you want to join the team, where the camera at, Cameron?
Does Kendra G even know what it means to have a roster? Let's see.
Up on Instagram, Kendra G Media. We got space for one. We got space
Because I love that, Spencer, but just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you're not dating.
No.
And that can be your season where you're exploring yourself and what's on the landscape.
Oh, that clip got y'all so upset. Y'all got me out here as a hoe and everything.
First off, you got yourself out here as a 304, Kendra G, because it's clear to see you don't know what it means to have a roster. And secondly, who's upset about that, Kendra G? If anything, we are all laughing at you. Excuse me. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. More than being upset with you. Because it's clear to see that for someone who's supposed to be a host of a dating show, you don't even know what it means to have a roster or what it means in general.
First of all, let me break down what a roster is. A roster means I'm dating. I'm not in a relationship. Not one man gets all of my time. Secondly, guess what? I'm not having sex with none of them. Sure not.
And there you have it. Kendra G just showed the world that she don't know shit about having a roster. And she just proved it. And she just proved it right there. Basically, and it and it amazes me that Kendra G, being a host of a dating show, clearly doesn't even know what it means to have a roster. She don't. But somehow everybody is upset when in reality everybody's laughing at her because she don't even know what she's talking about. Now, Kendra G, what you just described right there is what we all call multi-dating. Oh, excuse me. Do you even know what multi-dating means, Kendra G? Well, let me go ahead and explain it to you. Because you see, there's a big difference between having a roster, Cynthia G. Now, why I keep calling you Cynthia G? Kendra G. And multi-dating. You see, multi-dating is when you are dating multiple people, but you're not having sex with them. That is you, Kendra G. Whereas you having a roster means that you're dating multiple people, but guess what? You're smashing them. You letting them smash you, Kendra G. And by the way, why are you trying to redefine terms? And no, everybody knows what it means to have a roster. I got friends who got rosters. And you could bet your ass they all smashing their rosters. Future is a prime example of that. He has a roster. And so many others. What does Kendra G thinks that everybody has a rosters just to hold hands or go on dates to the Olive Garden or just Netflix and chill? Really? Is that what she thinks? Then she has a whole lot to learn. And as I stated, if you're not letting them smash Kendra G, then that's not a roster. That's you multi-dating. Learn the difference between the two. Goofy. Let's continue.
I'm able to have amazing dates, actually, because there's amazing men that just want to be in my presence. And sex is not a requirement. And I encourage all.
The irony in that statement, Kendra G, because you saying all this, but weren't you the same one? Excuse me. Weren't you the same one who was with a Nigerian scam artist? Oh, you thought we forgot about that too, didn't you? And everybody called you out on that. But once again, Kendra G, you think you have a gotcha moment against everybody when in reality, you just made an even bigger fool of yourself. You might as well just go ahead and dig that hole even deeper than it already is, because that's all that you're doing at this moment. Let's continue.
All women to date. If you are not in a relationship, date. You can have the time of your life. Life is amazing over here. But I want to break this down before I go. Here's why you men are goofies in real life. Because actually, on the Tamron Hall show, I was speaking for men in a lot.
No, you weren't. And no, Kendra G, you're in front of your camera making a damage control video over a meme that nobody takes seriously except for you. You claim that you have a roster when in reality, you're multi-dating. Remember, this came out of your mouth, Kendra G. You're not smashing those men those so-called men that you have a roster. No, you're only dating them. Case in point, multi-dating, not a roster. A roster is when you smashing your date, is when you let your date smash you. And what's more, you're in your feelings over shit that nobody takes seriously. And on top of that, this is the internet. People will say whatever they like, whether you like it or not, Kendra G. So by the end of the day, who's really the goofy here? No, Kendra G, answer that question. By the end of the day, who's really showing the world just how goofy they are while trying to call other people goofy at the same time? Okay then. And I'm not going to go any further because I ain't going to go any further with this video because this shit is now starting to become a trip. And I'm not going to waste any more time on it. I already said what I had to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.